Have you ever just looked up into the night sky and wondered, what is all that stuff? I mean, really? Well, today we're going on a little cosmic road trip to figure out our place in this huge, amazing universe, starting right in our own backyard. All right, let's get into it. And we're going to start big. I mean, just look at this. This is our home galaxy. It's this incredible, sprawling city of stars. This right here gives you a sense of the scale we're talking about today as we journey from those familiar lights we see at night all the way out to the mind-bending reality of the cosmos.
And it really all starts with that simple feeling, doesn't it? You know, that sense of awe you get when the sun dips down and the first little bright dots start popping out? It's something we've all felt, just looking up into that vastness. So naturally, that wonder leads to questions. What are all those shimmering lights anyway? And why do some of them seem to twinkle and blink while others just shine with a steady, calm light? Let's figure it out.
You know, if you look really closely on a clear night, you start to notice some patterns. It's not just a random mess of lights up there. Some of those shiny objects are twinkling like crazy, but others, they have this constant, unwavering glow. That little difference is actually our very first clue that we're looking at totally different kinds of things out there in space.
So here's a question you've probably had since you were a kid. If all that stuff is up there, where does it go during the day? Why does our view change so completely when the sun rises?
And the answer is actually pretty simple, but it's also kind of profound. Our sun is just so ridiculously bright that its light completely overwhelms the fainter light from everything else. I mean, those stars and planets, they're still right there during the daytime. We just can't see them through the incredible glare of our very own star.
Okay, so this brings us to a really important point. Not all those lights are created equal. Understanding the fundamental difference between a star and a planet, that's the key that unlocks the whole map of the cosmos.
And this breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you've got stars. Think of them like giant cosmic furnaces. They're massive, incredibly hot balls of gas, and they're making their own heat and light. Our sun is a classic example. And on the other side, you have planets, like us here on Earth. We don't make our own light at all. We're more like giant mirrors, just reflecting the light from the star we happen to be orbiting.
So, if our sun is a star, and we know it's enormous, why do all the other stars look like tiny little specks of dust? Well, this gives us the perfect way to think about it. It's all about distance. It's just like watching a huge airplane fly way, way up. It shrinks down to a tiny dot in the sky, right? Well, it's the same thing with stars. They are unimaginably far away.
All right, so now that we've got our basics down, we know a star from a planet. It is time to start the tour, and we're going to start close to home, in our own solar family, our little cosmic neighborhood.
So what is the solar system, really? Well, it's pretty much everything that's caught in our sun's gravitational pull. That's the sun itself, the 8 planets, all their moons, which we call satellites, and then a bunch of smaller stuff like asteroids and meteoroids. You can think of the sun as the head of the family, and its massive gravity is what keeps everyone from floating away. And get this, even though the sun is our nearest star, it's still 150 million kilometers away. That's the kind of mind-boggling distance we're dealing with, and we haven't even left our own system. It takes light, the fastest thing there is, about 8 minutes to travel from the sun to us.
Okay, trying to remember all 8 planets in order can be a bit of a challenge, but don't worry, there's a really easy trick. Just remember this sentence. My very efficient mother just served us nuts. That gives you Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. See? Easy.
And here is that whole family in a picture. You can see them all laid out, following these fixed paths around the sun that we call orbits. And you can spot a pattern here too. The smaller, rocky planets like ours are all huddled up close to the sun, while those giant gas planets are hanging out in the outer parts of the neighborhood.
So now that we've seen the whole street, let's zoom in on our specific house number. It's time to take a much closer look at our home, the third rock from the sun, the one and only planet Earth.
So what makes Earth so special? Well, as you can see here, it's this amazing balancing act. We're in what some people call the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, but just right. We've got liquid water, we've got an atmosphere, and that atmosphere has the oxygen we need to breathe. It's this perfect recipe that makes Earth a total paradise for life.
And it's all that water, 2/3 of our planet is covered in it, that gives Earth its famous nickname. When you see it from space, it just shines like this brilliant blue marble. What a view! It really reminds you just how precious this place is.
Okay, but the tour is not over. The planets and moons aren't the only things zipping around the sun. Let's keep moving outward and meet some of the other residents of our solar system.
So out there between Mars and Jupiter, there's this huge ring of space rocks called the asteroid belt. What are they? Well, scientists think these asteroids might be the leftover bits and pieces of a planet that either got smashed to bits or just never quite managed to form billions of years ago.
And you know, when you see a shooting star, well, surprise, it's not actually a star. It's one of these guys, a meteoroid. It's a small piece of rock that's just minding its own business, flying through space. But when it gets too close to us and plummets into our atmosphere, the friction makes it burn up in that beautiful streak of light.
Okay, we've toured our local neighborhood. We've met the planets and the space rocks. Now, are you ready to take the biggest step back of all? Everything we have talked about so far, the sun, every planet, every asteroid, our entire solar system is just one tiny, insignificant speck inside this. This is the Milky Way, our home galaxy.
And just when you think you've wrapped your head around that, the scale gets even bigger. See, our galaxy is just one huge system of billions of stars and clouds of gas, and it's just one of millions of other galaxies that altogether make up the entire universe. It's a number so big you can't really even imagine it.
Wow, okay, so after that journey from a simple little twinkle in the sky all the way out to the edge of what we can imagine, let's bring it all back home and think about what it all means.
So after all that, can you feel your place in this giant picture? Think about it. You are on a planet. That planet is part of a solar system. That solar system is part of a galaxy. And that galaxy is just one of millions in the universe. The next time you look up at the night sky, remember that incredible cosmic chain and just ask yourself, where do I fit into all this?